project revolves around working with 6 young composers, making, writing, composing music for lots of other young people to perform. So the idea was to take 6 young composers, no sort of requirements to have any great musical skills, but just a kind of interest in music. And then we just go through this process of learning how to use certain kinds of software, exploring lots of different compositions and how people approach writing music. And I've been working with them now since for the last 5-6 months or something. It hasn't got a formal title yet, but we keep referring to it as the Space Project, which will probably end up being the title.
Every person has a different idea on what space is. They have a different understanding of it, and because we know so little about it, it allows us to nearly dream up fantasies about space, and nobody can say, well, you're wrong, because they don't know either.
It's a good theme because it's so much things you can write about, really, with space. Mine's kind of about loneliness and how things float away without gravity, and it's kind of like that.
I'm aware that, I personally am substantially older than these guys, so I have listened and heard, a massive amount of music. So one of the nice things to be able to do is to say, oh yeah, that reminds me of X, Y, and Z. And so you're always constantly just opening up the sort of cupboard of music, really.
Working with Brian, it's an amazing experience. He has so many ideas, and it's a real good opportunity for all of us.
And because we're making like a multi-movement work that involves your pieces and then some music that I'm writing as well, it's all going to make one piece. So we need to kind of really understand where your lyrics are, where they're coming from, what they're about, so we can frame it all into one massive piece. It's a huge task, to write probably about a 6-minute orchestral choral piece. For anybody is a huge task. Like for seasoned professional composers, it's a huge task. It's a lot of notes. Even though this part of the project is about the young composers working with me and us kind of creating all this music, ultimately that will be transferred into hundreds of young people playing a piece of contemporary music.
I'm sort of a bit afraid what people will think of it, but then I'm sort of not afraid what people will think of it because I really like it. So
I used to describe it as sort of, more thrills than kind of a homemade go-kart with more levels than a kind of, Nintendo or something, So it's just the sheer enjoyment of doing it.
When I compose, it's a time to forget about what's going on in ordinary life, forget about homework, work overdue, anything like that.
And if you can illuminate that, if you can show people how it can be so enjoyable, then what will happen is they'll just be addicted to compositions for the rest of their life.
I realised you can do much more than just vocals and one instrument.
It's opened my mind to more instruments, I suppose. I was thinking of taking up piano.
It's a fabulous programme.
It's educated me a lot, even for doing music in school.
And yeah, I'll definitely keep composing.